So recently, a new gameplay trailer was released for AEW Fight Forever, which is an upcoming wrestling game slated to be available February 2023. I am personally very excited for AEW Fight Forever because it genuinely feels like a lifetime ago since I last picked up a wrestling game to play, and more importantly, had fun playing one. For younger viewers, the early to mid 2000s was the golden age for wrestling games. Titles such as WWF No Mercy and WWE SmackDown vs. Raw defined this era, as well as being incredibly popular because I mean, who doesn't want to smash a steel chair across the back of your friend? You have to remember that one aspect that made these games so popular was that this was a time when local split screen games were at their peak. Didn't fancy a round of James Bond Nightfire? Well, how about a Hell in a Cell match instead for the WWE Championship? However, over the years, wrestling games have pretty much taken a backseat for, well, basically any gaming genre you can think of. Since 2K Sports took over the WWE franchise from THQ, the games that have been released since 2013 have certainly been a mixed bag. Back in March, WWE was reportedly in talks with EA to take over their video game franchise, with the relationship between WWE and 2K Sports deteriorating. With WWE being the face of wrestling for over 2 decades now, it's pretty sad to see that during that period, wrestling games no longer offer the charm, fun and action that the early titles once did. Until now. Back in November 2020, a new wrestling game was revealed at the AEW Games 1.0 special event. For those that don't know, AEW is fast becoming a viable alternative to WWE, and if this type of competition leads to better wrestling games, then I am all for it. So there are a couple of interesting aspects of AEW Fight Forever that do have me excited for its eventual release. Firstly, the game is being developed by Japanese developer Yuke's. The company had developed every WWE wrestling game from 2000 onwards. However, WWE 2K19 was the last game it developed under the WWE banner, with Yuke's indicating there was a lot of frustration in what they wanted to achieve, and reports suggesting their relationship with 2K Sports was in a pretty bad way. With Yuke's being responsible for basically every wrestling game you've no doubt played, it's great to see them being given a fresh start with a brand new wrestling IP in AEW Fight Forever. And if AEW's plan was to get as much experience they can in developing this game, they certainly went to the right person to bring on board. Apologies for my pronunciation in advance, but creative director Hideyuki Iwashita, the director for WWF No Mercy, which is usually regarded as one of the best wrestling video games ever made, has been heavily involved with the development of AEW Fight Forever. It feels like Fight Forever is positioning itself as the spiritual successor to WWF No Mercy, and I don't think that's a bad thing. You could argue that perhaps the game is leaning too heavily into the nostalgia aspect, but the wrestling gaming genre is in dire need of a full reset, with 2K Sports' focus on it being a sports simulation making their game so dull to play. And this is why I'm excited for AEW Fight Forever. It looks like the gameplay is heading towards it being an arcade game as opposed to making a real life simulation. I've seen some feedback to the recent and past trailers taking aim at the visuals, but honestly, who wants to play a wrestling game and be blown away by the graphics? Nah, I'd rather my games be fun to play than be nice to look at. It's already confirmed that AEW Fight Forever will have more than 10 different game modes, including exploding barbed wire, death, and casino battle royale. There will be customization options for wrestling attire, entrances, and arenas, amongst other things. The recent gameplay trailer has also promised a deep career mode without actually telling us what features are included to make it deep. So it will be interesting to learn more about the career mode the game has in place. To be honest, I'm not expecting the perfect wrestling game, given this game is a brand new IP and a lot, if not all, visuals are being built from the ground up. All I want is for this game to be a really solid foundation for AEW games to build upon. I'm not expecting the UI and the menus to be modern and slick, and there's no doubt there's going to be areas that probably could have done with some polish. But ultimately, if the gameplay is as fun as it looks, then I'll be one happy guy knowing that the wrestling game genre is being revitalized. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on the upcoming AEW Fight Forever game. Are you hyped to play it, or are you completely uninterested? Let me know down in the comments below. Catch you all in the next video. Peace.